your fear of being seen is what's holding you back from living the life of your dreams. Okay, and I didn't know this because when someone told me that this is a fear I had, I was like, no, I don't. I used to be the child who would create little presentations and dance moves for my parents and my parents' friends. And so when I heard that I might actually subconsciously sabotage myself from the life that I want to create, from my business that I want to create, it didn't quite click for me because I was like, how is that possible? I am not scared to be seen, until I realized it's so much deeper than that. So let's talk about it. Truly, when it comes to the fear of being seen, what we don't realize a lot of the times is that when this is something you struggle with, you most likely are not aware of it because you are doing all of the things. You are, let's say you want to, build your business, or you're building your business and you're doing all the things. You are showing up, you're creating content, you're doing all of the things that people tell you so that you can get the results that you want. But despite you doing all the things, the success isn't here yet. And that used to be me. I used to do all the things, show up more than anyone else was doing it. And still, the results weren't there. So I had to take it a step further, because what does the fear of being seen truly mean? The fear of being seen is actually a subconscious block. It's a subconscious block that is holding you back from creating the life that you desire. How does the fear of being seen show up? A couple of ways of how it can show up is you overthinking about the things that you want to do, the things that you want to say, the things that you want to post online, the things that you want to share about yourself. So you have an idea and you are so excited about the idea, but then you stop yourself from actually executing on the very thing. The other way it can show up is that you keep changing your mind. You keep changing your mind about your business, your niche, your strategy, even, your life and the decisions that you make. You feel like you can't stick with one decision and you keep changing your mind about the things that you want to do. Another way this can show up if you are running your business is you are undercharging or undervaluing yourself. So this is also to truly everything else in life. It's not just business, but if you're undervaluing yourself, you let other people speak over you. You allow them to have a stronger opinion than you. You might even have a strong opinion about something, but they're taking over. You're letting them take over. So you're staying in the background. You're not going in and telling your own story. You're not telling your own opinions because it is scary to do that. Another way this could show up is you keep learning instead of taking action. So I used to be the one stuck in that. I used to watch another YouTube video, read another book, watch another Instagram story, instead of taking action. You are in this mode of preparation rather than actually going all in on the life that you want to create. And of course, there are many other ways that this fear can show up as. But what truly helped me understand why it's showing up and how to heal it is to understand that despite me believing I didn't have this fear, I had to look at the results I was getting in my life, or the life that I didn't live, the life that I actually wanted deep within, but it wasn't manifesting, it wasn't happening. So when I realized that I am always creating outside of myself what is inside of myself, I had to realize, well, I might consciously think that I want success, I want money, I want all of this, but maybe inside of me, there's something holding me back, because everything you see on the outside is a reflection of your inside. And when that truly clicked for me, I was like, well, okay, instead of trying to find another perfect strategy or read another book, what about I go inwards? And I ask myself, where does this fear come from in the first place? And so to my surprise, I realized that type of fear actually started early on in my childhood. There were situations, even in kindergarten and in school, where when I wanted to fully be myself, people would make fun of me. People would not want to hear what I had to say. And I remember early on, I always felt like I was different. I always felt like I didn't belong because my opinions were different and who I was different. And even the way that I wanted to dress or show myself to the world was different. And so early on, I learned, hey, it's not safe to be fully yourself because people will judge you, people will trigger you, people will have opinions, and we don't want to go there because it is scary. And so when you realize that as human beings, we are designed to want to be safe, right? Our mind cannot grasp the idea of a million people looking at us. It feels on a subconscious level, if we travel back hundreds and thousands of years ago, when all that we had to do in life was to survive, we have learned that we can only survive when we are accepted and we are part of our tribe. But when we put ourselves out there, we also know that now that can feel scary because we are no longer part of a tribe. We're no longer part of people who love us and support us. We might actually get different opinions about who we are. And so in your mind, that feels unsafe. You can put so much content out there hoping that this is gonna be it and this is gonna finally hit the spot. But if you don't overcome the subconscious fear of being seen, you will sabotage yourself. Your energy is literally going to repel more people from seeing you because subconsciously you're literally scared to be seen by people because you don't want to feel rejected. You don't want to not feel loved and you don't want to trigger people, which leads me to my next point. I really had to learn that it wasn't about now. It was about something that I learned early on, and one syndrome that I love to talk about a lot, which I know is a very big theme for us women, is the good girl syndrome. Many women have early on learned, if you are a good girl, you are loved, you're accepted, you're perfect, you're all of these things. So as a good girl, early on, when we are children, we learn when you stay quiet, that's better because you will not irritate people. We learn to not be too loud. We learn to not be too sexy. We learn to not, make other people uncomfortable. We learn to get good grades. We learn to do all of these things so we can conform and we can be loved by everyone. And I used to feel this way growing up. I was always the perfect daughter, the one that was getting all the grades, the one that was helping mother out at home. And this is not to blame my parents at all, because of course, this is, a generational thing. And there is a limit, though, to how much you can program a child to believe that when she stays quiet, that's perfect. When she doesn't show emotions, that's great. When she doesn't make others uncomfortable, that's the right thing to do. And I used to be the one to always make sure that everyone else around me was great, was happy. Even as a child, I remember I would literally stay quiet to not say what I was actually thinking or what I actually wanted in that moment. And so then again, when we become adults, what do? We do the same thing. We literally, as adults, as women, we hold ourselves back from showing who we are because we have it so deeply ingrained in us. We have it so deeply programmed in us that we cannot go out there because we don't want to make other people uncomfortable. We don't want to trigger people because it is unsafe to do that. Going back to the very first thing that I talked about, right? So we have to recognize that in order for you to change your life and to create the success that you want, you will have to literally decondition yourself and you will have to literally change your beliefs about yourself and the world and how you show up in society and in your life and in your business and in what you want to create. Because at the end of the day, you owe it to yourself. You owe the success, the dream life, the business success that you desire, you owe it to yourself. And it's really important to let go of blaming our parents or blaming our previous generations or blaming society. Because yes, we are who we are because of conditioning, because of the things we've heard, seen, experienced. But now you can take your power back and recognize that you get to create the life that you desire. And every time you find yourself not getting the results that you want, instead of looking at this strategy, instead of believing you need to know more, it is about looking inwards and asking yourself, where is the root of this? Like, why am I doing this? Why do I believe these things? Why do I stop myself from posting this content? Why am I scared to trigger someone? Why am I scared to be rejected? And building that safety within yourself too. Because what happens When we are scared to be seen, it's again, your body perceives that you are in danger. Your body in that moment thinks it's in danger, like quite literally. So whenever we overcome this fear of being seen, we have to learn to regulate ourselves and our nervous system. Our nervous system usually goes into fight or flight when we are stressed, when we feel like we are in danger. So practicing regulating your nervous system over and over and over again is extremely important. As an example, whenever I had a viral reel on Instagram, I remember that was a couple of months ago, I had this one reel which went extremely viral, and I never experienced something like this before, and people were liking and following and commenting. And I remember my nervous system literally like going, oh my God, what is happening? And in that moment, I had two choices. Either I decided to regulate myself and to tell myself that I'm safe and that I'm okay and that there's no danger, or I would sabotage myself from stopping to post now, or not replying to people, or deleting the post altogether. That could have been another option. In that moment, I decided I'm going to regulate myself. Regulation of your nervous system you can do in many different things, but my favorite way is truly giving myself a hug and reminding myself I'm safe, and I'm taking deep breaths. Deep, deep, deep belly breaths. This is one way to regulate your nervous system, because what happens is when your nervous system is going crazy, you get shallow breath, and that again signals your body that you are in danger. So one way to do that is to take those deep breaths, and that usually really helps with regulating yourself and regulating your nervous system. And so that is the thing that's really important for you to do whenever you find yourself going crazy or, being scared to put yourself out there. And the other thing, of course, which is even more important than everything else that I just said, is going to the root of why this fear of being seen is there. If you right now already know there is a memory popping up in your mind about something that happened in your childhood where this fear might have been developed, you want to work with that memory. So in that moment, your inner child, she didn't feel safe. She didn't feel seen. She felt like she did something wrong. And so it is your responsibility now as an adult to work with your inner child so that she feels seen, she feels heard, she feels safe. And you are the only person that can do that. Not your parents, not the person that did it to you, but you have to be the one to do that. And so the way to do it, and there's so many techniques, ultimately what I'm talking about is inner child work, is you can write that inner child a letter. You can write her a letter of everything she needed to hear, everything she needed to feel right back then, that she was loved, that she was safe, whatever that might be for you. The other thing that you can do is literally have a conversation with you, either way out loud or in your mind. What I love to do is I put a chair in front of me and I imagine she's sitting in front of me. My 5-year-old version of myself is sitting in front of me and I'm having a conversation with her. Either way, I close my eyes or I keep my eyes open and I imagine she's there and I tell her what she needs to hear. This is extremely healing. This is extremely soothing. And this is what will really, really help you and your inner child finally recover from what happened in the past, and realize that you are now in control of your life and your past doesn't dictate you, but you are responsible to do the work, to go inwards and to heal whatever needs to be healed. And once you do, you will notice shifts about the way that you show up and the things that you do. And I really want you to reflect right now, if I didn't have this fear, what would be different? How would I show up differently? What would I say? Would I be more bold? Would I be more creative? Would I just do the thing that I want to do? That's truly the thing for you to look deeper into, because when you do that, you will see parts of yourself that you've never seen before, or maybe you even recognize parts of yourself that were there before, but you've lost them over time because of whatever might have happened. Let me know if this resonates. I truly, truly hope it does. If you want a second part on this, I'm happy to do that. But I really hope with everything that I already shared, it is going to be helpful for you to look deeper into why you have the fear of being seen. By the way, I will be doing a free masterclass for my business ladies. It's called The Feminine Way to 10K Months. And the fear of being seen is one of the things we talk about. And I also go deeper into and how the fear of being seen is blocking you in your business success. So if this is something that you're interested in, the masterclass is on demand. You can download it right here. You can sign up right here and get access to it immediately. I would love to see you there. Sending you so much love, and until the next time, bye-bye.